when it comes to Desi, Andre and I spoke a little bit about that when he lost his marbles against the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think it was around. He said 2010. I can't remember what round it was, but against the Eagles, Desi slammed the door. The door fell off, and there was a lot of conjecture around that. I think there was someone sent a bill to Manly to pay for the door. Manly said, we don't want any more security cameras in the change rooms anymore, invading our privacy and that kind of thing. And then um, quite funny to look at now, but imagine at the time, Desi probably wouldn't have liked that coming up on 9 News,
No.
PM 9 News. But was there any instances you remember fondly? I think that year, 2008, round 11, you had a nail-biting loss against the Dragons. And Desi, you could see some almighty spray. I think this was Jamie Soward kicked the goal to win the game right at the end.
Oh, yeah.
2 points.
Yeah.
And there was an almighty spray from Desi at the end there. Was there any in particular sprays you remember where Desi lost his marbles, and maybe some that were specific instances that were maybe aimed at you as a halfback or captain?
Geez, there would have been a few, but like every time Desi had his massive sprays, like there was many, don't get me wrong. And it's some aimed at me, some aimed at the whole team. But I guess having that group together, I guess as senior players, you kind of know if you've kind of effed up or not, or you're not doing what you're meant to, or we've gone away from what we've been training to be like. But mate, his head, the way how red it got, and he was going to burst a valve somewhere, and the hair, he flicks his hair through, and he's got that hand gesture, and not stress you enough, like the change of tone, and oh mate, he walks, stalks around, he kicks. Oh mate, some of them I thought he would have broken his foot in some of those eskies the way he kicked them. It was brilliant, but no one would just say boo, and then but yeah, he's just passionate, right? So that was a talking point the whole time, like, and some of the boys would do some of the impressions of Desi when he was angry. It was brilliant, but he's God, he got very, very intense. If we weren't doing things, and he would let you know. So same again in video. I'm doing a review the next Tuesday or whatever, and if we've done something wrong, or God, he'll just erupt. He's just like a volcano, but there was no warning. So
the funny thing is, so we were talking about this off air, but his brother Danny Hasler, who unfortunately has passed away, he used to teach me in primary school, middle school. When I was at St Augustine's College, they had middle school, year 5 and 6, before you went into year 7, high school. But his brother Danny Hasler was teaching me, and whenever someone would get in trouble, same thing. His face would go volcano red, absolutely screaming, roaring, like at the top of his voice. And it was a thing. Everyone who was on that top level of that building, when Danny was going off, you could hear him right down the other side of the corridor, just absolutely like roaring, screaming.
Yeah.
And my mate Jack at the time, there was a time when we were in an assembly, and one kid, when we stand up to sing the national anthem, one kid's pulled out the chair from under Jack's, and then when he went to sit down, he like fell on the floor. And so this is Danny's son, right? And you can imagine if someone did that to your son at school. And then we went back to the quadrangle for recess, and it was like Armageddon. It was so I can only imagine though. Like it runs in the family, I think. So they were both teachers and used to disciplining people. But look at the results they got, from.
But off out of that, as we spoke about, like Des is so quietly spoken.
Yeah.
Away from that, like
yeah,
having a conversation with him or gone for coffee or